I think I'm better than you. 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 I will slap your fucking face. You think I have a come? What are you saying? What are you doing, Toyin? You shouldn't go this far now. What are you saying? Come on, Toyin. What are you saying? It's very hard. The truth is better.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So the second episode of the reunion for the Real Housewives of Lagos premiered today. And of course, that was going to be the final episode because at the end of that episode, it was cheers. And of course, that brought us to the end of the season. So Uti, who's the host, took us through a conversation that had to do with, who's the fashion king? You know, Toyin talks about the fact that she's the person who can style the most. She's the fashionable one. And, you know, sometimes you look at the fact that Toyin has said over and over again that, you know, Chioma likes to make an entrance. So in this conversation, the question is, what is this issue about someone being more fashionable, another person being not fashionable? And the conversation started with Chioma, right? So Chioma is like, you know what? Toyin has always had an issue with her fashion sense, with how she likes to walk in and all of that, because most of the time during the gatherings, Chioma comes in late and all of that. So, I mean, Chioma is like, see, what problem does Toyin have with me? She has a problem with the way I dress. She feels I want to make an entrance. I don't have a problem with how my fashion is different from hers. Why is she always picking up on me?
Oh my God, that is cool. No, you can't take it. You are a big girl. Enjoy it.
And then Uti also asked Toyin, right, what's up with you? And Toyin is like, see, everybody knows I'm a celebrity stylist. I style celebrities, including Iyabo, who's seated there. You know, and my fashion sense is different from my business fashion sense. The way I style people is different from the way I style myself. When I style myself, I'm avant-garde and all of that. So there was this issue over who's the best fashion person. And then this conversation degenerated into the issue that happened at Laura's fashion show. Remember that during the fashion show, Toyin and Chioma were sitting beside each other. Now, what was the problem? I think that Toyin, I mean, it's not even I think, it was what we saw. Toyin was, you know, she wasn't impressed with what the fashion pieces that Laura put out in her fashion show. And right here and then, we could literally see that Toyin was showing Chioma some of her own fashion pieces that she had done. Right there in that episode, I vividly remember that. But right here in this reunion, right, Chioma is calling out Toyin, saying that, you know what, how on earth, with all your fashion, blah, 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 you were even trying to, trying to distract me from what we came for. How would you be showing me your own fashion pieces at your friend's fashion show? And at a particular point, while the conversation was going on, Miriam just stood up. You know, Miriam was tired of the whole stuff. She said, guys, cut, cameraman, cut. I mean, let's continue the show, because it was a heated argument between Toyin, Tiana, and of course, Chioma. And then, you know what, Miriam stood up, took a walk, went to smoke a cigar. And at a particular point, we saw Uti. Uti now said, you know, let me go and bring Miriam in. When Uti stood up, then Tiana stood up and wanted to slap Chioma. It was Iyabo who literally blocked Toyin from slapping Chioma, and it was a crazy fight. I mean, Tiana was ready to scar Chioma. At some particular point, Tiana's husband had to come out. He was masked as usual, had to come out and take his wife out, and the show was delayed for 2 good hours.
We're talking about your life. We're talking about your life. You guys then I talk about you. You're the one that's mean. You're the one that's mean, and you're competitive. You're competitive.
And then the conversation moved to Chioma and Caroline. Remember that these two people, beautiful, started up fantastically well on the show's friends. And, you know, we eventually saw that, you know, they had an issue during the show, right, that made them go apart. Now, it was really dug into in this reunion. So what was the question? At what point, Uti was asking Chioma, at what point did you begin to feel like, see, there was going to be cracks? You began to spot cracks in the friendship you had with Chioma. And, you know, the friendship you had with Caroline. And, you know, Chioma was like, see, when we started out, it was good. I felt like we were business partners. And then, you know, it was when you started seeing the fact that she started saying some things behind you. I mean, allow me to say what I said to you. I don't like that, you know, when I tell you something in confidence, you go out there and say it. I should be the one to say it if I told you something in confidence, which is both of us saying it. And then he also asked her, you know, Caroline. Caroline was like, see, she's a sweet girl. She's somebody I really like and all of that. But of course, at a particular point, we began to nosedive.
So when it was mentioned, even I was like, huh? Like, I said this thing since. Like, how did you just bring this up in this argument, you know?
And then what was the news diving issue? It was the issue about lies. Guess what happened? Before they continued that Caroline and Chioma conversation, Miriam interjected, talking about the fact that she has a gift for Caroline. And what was the gift? She returned a particular gift that Caroline gave to her. Now, why did she return it? Because she heard. Chioma told her, Miriam, that there was a particular time they were supposed to go to Miriam's house for the dinner. Remember the dinner that they went for, that all of them went for? They had planned it before that time, but it didn't work. And why didn't it work? Yabo wasn't around. Tiana had a broken leg and all of that. So it was just going to be Caroline, Chioma, Laura, and of course Miriam, who was the host because he's 6. 2 people are not going to be around. And Caroline said she wasn't coming for that. And she was telling Chioma that, be careful, that she doesn't like Miriam, that this Miriam they just introduced to the show. You don't even know her, you don't know where she's from, you're going to somebody's house. All the time that we've been shooting this stuff, it's been a restaurant or apartment and all of that. It's been a restaurant. So why are we taking the show to somebody's house this time around? When the girls hosted, they went out, they went to the beach house, somebody took them to a restaurant, Braz and Cooper, Toyin took them to Braz and Cooper and all of that. But this time around, we're shooting in somebody's house. So be careful before they use jazz or before you drink the water you want to drink, or make sure that you open it. And Chioma also went and told Miriam this stuff. And that was where the issue happened.
Don't put your bag there, don't do this, or else you're going to use a star. People like them, they use jazz. If I use jazz, you need to buy like here because I will collect everything.
You should look at the person that was telling you all
I'm
those
saying it
type
in
of
front
things.
of you that people are very confrontational.
Now you can see Caroline is claiming that she never said stuff like that to her, and in the long run it became a battle of who's the liar in all of this. It was so terrible that Caroline was like, calling Chioma the king of lies. Chioma was like, how would Caroline be making up very crazy lies on her? And in that instance, I began to look at it like, who could really be lying in this conversation? And then Utina asked the final question. So are we saying that, there's really not going to, because they had like an award for them for best friend goals and all of that on the show. But are you saying that, we cannot salvage this situation, we cannot salvage this friendship? And guess what Chioma said? Chioma said that, there are times I watch the show, and when I look at how myself and Caroline started, I feel some type of way. It takes me back. I get emotional and all of that. But guess what? The problem here is she lies a lot. She should stop the lies. The lies that Caroline tells are crazy.
It's the lies. I don't understand. I can't explain it to you.
What do you think to strengthen the friendship again?
She has to stop with the lies.
And Caroline, what would you
She has
think?
to stop with the lies.
And then Uti now asked Caroline, what do you think? Are you saying this friendship cannot be salvaged? And guess what? Caroline said, I still stand with what I said, and with this friendship, I am done.
You know what? When I say things behind you, I say it in front of you. I'm done with the friendship.
In the long run, we saw that Laura was vindicated from the whole drama and all of that, looking at the fact that these guys have been saying a lot of things about her, and he had the 2 best friends who are literally now fighting. And, she feels, exonerated from the whole rubbish that has happened, and she feels happy. And that was how this show ended. It didn't end on a good note for most of these people. The only people I think ended up as friends who are still cool will be Miriam, Tiana, and of course, Yabo. Miriam, Tiana, and Yabo are still going to be cool. I don't know if Laura will be cool on the surface level, but see, Chioma and Caroline, those guys are done. I, for one, think it's been an amazing time, an amazing season on the Real Housewives of Lagos, and I do hope that we have another fantastic set. I don't know if we're bringing the same cast for the 2nd season. I hope that we have another cast, more fun, because I think that everything that needs to be said about these people has literally been said. So I think that we can have better ones, another intriguing, line of cast and all of that. Shout out to the producers. It was an amazing one. Shout out to Showmax, who gave us an amazing show. And of course, Big Brother starts on the 23rd of July, and I'll be here to bring you all the juiciest details from the beginning of the show to the end of the show for 72 days. I'll be on your screens. I'll be on your TV screens, on your laptops, on your phones. Get ready to join me right here on YouTube for the conversation. I'm going to be inviting lots of you people who are watching me right now doing the Big Brother reviews every Saturdays to join me, and I'll be asking you questions live on your screens. We're going to have a conversation about the show. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so guess what? You get notified whenever I post a video. Go on all social media platforms on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and of course on TikTok, and follow me at FM Daniel. Until next time, I'll come away very soon. It's bye for now.